What's up, y'all? Today, I'm gonna give you guys a bit of an update on my big cleanup project or my collection intervention. Now, if you're a newer viewer, you might not know what the hell I'm talking about. There's gonna be a link down in the description box, maybe a pop-up link right there. I recommend you click that, go watch the original video. It'll explain everything. But basically what it is my house was full of clutter. It looked like an episode of Hoarders. Matter of fact, I've been watching the show on Netflix. I believe it's called Extreme Hoarding, Buried Alive. Very inspirational in the sense that, it inspires me to get cleaned up even more. So anyway, yeah, this is going to be an update on the progress. Actually, I made much more progress a few months back when my wife's family was going to be arriving before the wedding. And I actually cleared up a lot of stuff at that time, but I didn't really get rid of stuff. It was more like just moving things around and putting stuff away. And then I wasn't doing the best job over the past few months, but now I'm back actively and more aggressively getting cracking at it. And so this is where we're at. In the original video, I don't even remember how it looked in here, but I remember all my comics were over there, and I believe all that was full of stuff as well. So now there's quite a bit of open floor space. Not too much on the bed right now, but all this stuff against the closet and the wall over there, that's actually our wedding presents. So that's what, like 6 months later, the stuff is still sitting here. But that's largely because I still had a bunch of stuff in the way over here, and I only recently cleared this. You'll see where that stuff went later on in the video. But now that I have access to these, I'm gonna get these sorted, put them away. Some of these we're gonna put away and save for maybe when we have our own place, but in the meantime, might see what we can use while still here. And before I move on, I want to say thanks again to everyone who sent over a wedding present. Really appreciate it. Some of these, I think all the ones right there, those are from YouTubers and friends. Some of you who might be watching may have given some of those. I always meant to do a big haul video for the wedding presents, but just never got around to it. It was just so hectic back then. Moving along in the hallway, this used to be filled with boxes. Well, it's still technically filled with boxes, but these are mailing boxes, all my priority mail supplies for like eBay and stuff. And a few more supplies as well as my weight scales over there. And actually right here, it's an odd place, but it's where I keep reading material for using the bathroom. And moving along into my old bedroom. Again, I don't remember how this looked in the original video, but I imagine all this floor space was filled up. And now, as you can see, I got quite a bit of floor space cleared up. Still have a few things around the floor that still need to get sorted and put away. And what's on these shelves is kind of temporary. There's my Infinity Gauntlet. If you follow the SMU Toys Facebook, you might have seen a picture I took. It would look something like that. There's my bookshelf right there. That's kind of as is. I don't think I'm really going to be changing much right there. There's my lamps. These are actually the two lamps I use for reviewing. When I review, I actually just put the poster board against the bookshelf right there. Have the lamps on the side. There's my Airsoft Aliens Pulse Rifle, as well as my stun baton right there. And over on this shelf, it's also kind of temporary. I mean, most of the stuff that's there is probably gonna stay, but I actually haven't really got it completely sorted and organized and put other stuff there. And my big shelves for my DVDs and CDs. I'm actually gonna be clearing these out. You might have seen if you're on my personal Facebook page. Selling these, but I still gotta take down all those DVDs and CDs and be throwing them in some cardboard boxes. And over here, what used to be in the guest room, if I remember right, during the time of the first video, was my pile of stuff waiting to get reviewed. I'd gotten down by a huge amount and then actually built back up in just very recent months. Even though I transferred it into over here, there was just stuff like all over here and piled on top of there. But once again, I just decided to crack open a lot of stuff and sort it away in my collection, you know, deciding I'm never going to review them. But I do still have a few things here, as you can see. Even in the box, I've actually gotten that down. It's not filled up, but there's a few things I'll still be reviewing sometime soon. And then going into my mom's bedroom, I don't remember the state of this at the time of the first video, but all these stuff are the stuff that I'll be selling, mostly on eBay and stuff like that. So there's just piles of stuff. There's, you know, filled with those boxes and some there as well. My mom's closet. Again, I don't remember the state it was in the original video, but all I have in here now is all my current die-cast stuff. So all those smaller bins right there are filled with my loose Hot Wheels cars, Matchbox, all kinds of die-cast cars. And those two large bins and these ones over here is all play sets, for Hot Wheels and die-cast and some unopened stuff right there. And down here in the living room is my current staging area. This is where I'm getting most of the stuff done right now. As you can see, I brought down all those comics. There's stacks of them right there. And a few more over here as well. So getting those all sorted and then gonna pretty much sell off my entire, or actually most of my comic collection. At the same time, I'm working on my Lego Mega Blocks and other building sets. One of the things I'm doing, you might have seen in the past, I have all my Lego sets, and again, as well as like Mega Blocks and other building sets in these bins over here. Each of these holds 66 quarts, and what I'm doing is actually getting them moved into these ginormous 50-gallon bins. So each of these can fit maybe around 3 of those bins or so. What I'm going to start doing is filling those up, and for certain parts of my collections, I'm going to be allotting a certain number of these bins and basically only keeping what I can fit in the allotted number of bins. For example, if I decide to allot 2 or 3 of those for just my Lego sets alone, I'm going to get them into there. Or if there's more than that can fit in those 2 or 3 bins, I'm going to have to go through and see what I can remove, and sell. And then also, if I want to add more to it, then I got to remove some, sell some, get rid of some to make room for those. And that'll help keep my collections in control. And in the downstairs hallway, there's still a few things over here. This is all the stuff that has been set aside for like garage sales and just miscellaneous stuff to sell or get rid of. And then in the garage, I believe I've done an update somewhere in between now and the original video, but I'm not gonna expect anyone to go look for that if you haven't seen it. I'm sure at least from the original video you'll see a considerable difference. If I remember right, in that original video there were so many piles or levels of boxes piled on top of each other on both sides over here, and on the other sides there's actually like 3 columns of boxes, and those were so high that you couldn't even see over them. So yeah, as you can see, I've gotten that down, and the only reason this stuff is here right now all over the floor is because I pulled down boxes from over there, and I'm pulling those out, getting those sorted as well. And those are all my Happy Meal toys. That's all of those, and that bag, no, not that bag, I don't think, that box right there, as well as that box and that box. So that's all Happy Meal toys. That's how many freaking Happy Meal toys I got. Gotta sort them, get rid of those too. And this box right here, which I've spilled over right there, it's kind of like airsoft accessories, gear, and stuff like that. And you can see goggles right there. And this box, this is a pretty cool box. This is my collection of like older die-cast, some vintage stuff in there. Since that's open, that shows that I'm currently working on that as well. And over on the other side, it's kind of dark, so you're not gonna see much. I don't know if you'll see a considerable difference here, but that's all stuff that's been sorted. And there's still all these cabinets right here. I'm not gonna go through all those back there, but just to give you an example of what I'm doing here, and I apologize, it's gonna be a little dark, you're not gonna see much. If you remember this cabinet, and like most of these cabinets, it was filled with stuff in these bins. What I'm doing now is I'm taking everything in those bins and throwing them in these bags, similar to what I'm doing with the bins as I showed the example with the Lego sets. I'm bringing down to these bags, and then what I'm going to do is put these bags of figures in larger bins. As you can see, now that they're in these bags, they don't take up so much space as they did when they were in those bins. When they were in those bins, they piled high. And so when I get them into just these bags, I can fit them in less larger bins. And then similar to my CD and DVD shelves, I'm actually going to be selling these cabinets, because that also will free up a bunch of space here in the garage by just having what's in there in bins. And also, while I'm getting those sorted into those bags and larger bins, I'm going to be getting rid of more stuff as well.